Introduction to tool usage. 1. Making the yarn leading device. Pinch the ends of the fishing line. Use tape to secure the ends. Tape is to be provided by yourself. It is used as a yarn leading device. The tape is for ease of operation. Not having it does not affect threading. 2. Threading at the fold of the yarn leading device. Thread it through the complete opening in the middle. Pull it out from the other end. The yarn goes in. Pull out the yarn. Leave about 1 inch of yarn. About 2.5 centimeters. 3. Embroidery frame. Loosen the screws of the embroidery frame. Take out the inner ring. Place the side of the embroidery cloth with the pattern facing down. Put it on the inner ring. The pattern should be in the center. Put on the outer ring. Flip it to the back. If there is a pattern misalignment, remove the outer ring. Adjust the pattern to the center position. Put on the outer ring. Ensure the pattern is correctly positioned. Tighten the screws while pulling the fabric evenly around. Press the fabric surface if there are obvious dents. There is no tension, indicates it is not tightened. Continue to pull the fabric tight. Be careful during the tightening process if you notice the pattern deforming. Can be pulled slightly to adjust back. Pressing the fabric feels tight. Not easily dented means it is in a tight state. This side is the front. The side with the pattern is the back. Next, I will demonstrate the usage of the hot melt glue stick. Can be assisted with a glue gun. Be careful not to burn your hands. If you don't have a glue gun, you can use a lighter to melt it. Heat with the inner flame. Softening until transparent, then it is ready to use. Heating with the outer flame will cause the melted glue to turn black. This will not look good.
First, adjust the length of the needle tip. Take out the pipe cleaner in the punch needle. First, unfold the pipe cleaner. Wrap the pipe cleaner around the needle from this position. Wrap upwards, making a total of 6 turns. Then press down. Then take out a ruler and measure the length of the needle tip. The needle tip is approximately 1¼ inches long, which is about 3 centimeters. Then use scissors to cut off the remaining part. Press down on the cut area to prevent stabbing your fingers. The needle tip length has been adjusted. Take out the threader. Thread it through the hole at the complete side of the needle tip until the wire is exposed at the other end. Take a piece of yarn and thread it through the threader. Threading is completed. Take out the embroidery hoop and loosen the screw. Remove the inner ring. Take out the embroidery fabric. Place the pattern face down with the backside facing you. Position the pattern in the center of the inner ring. Take the outer ring and place it over the fabric and inner ring. Tighten the screw while pulling the fabric taut around the edges until the fabric is taut. This is the finished effect.
Basic production method. First, reserve an appropriate amount of yarn. For convenience of use, do not press down on the yarn. Keep it in a loose state. Pick up the embroidery frame. Maintain a certain distance from the table. This makes it easier to insert the needle. Find a starting point along the outline of the area. Angle the needle towards the direction of movement. Push the needle all the way in. Keep the tip of the needle close to the fabric. If lifted too high, it may cause the yarn segment to protrude. You can pull the yarn back to the previous step. Pull the excess yarn back. Then continue with the next stitch. Stitch every other hole. Insert the needle into the second hole. Be careful not to place your hand under the needle tip during the poking process. Avoid injuring your hand.
First, pre-thread the needle with the yarn color corresponding to the area you will work on next. Leave enough yarn. Loosely place it aside. Pick up the embroidery hoop. Keep a certain distance from the table for easy needle insertion. Leave a length at the tip of the needle. Along the printed pattern on the embroidery fabric, randomly find a starting point at the edge of the area to insert the needle. The slanted cut of the needle faces the direction of movement. Insert the needle completely into the embroidery fabric. The tip of the needle can move along the fabric surface with each stitch spaced 1 grit apart.
The yarn is too sparse. There may be the following issues. First, the distance between each pinhole is far. Causing the distance between loops to be far. Not enough density. Normal distance. Insert a needle every other hole. If the spacing is closer, the loops punched out will be denser. Second, there is a gap between the two rows. Make it a bit denser. Third, the loops on the edge are sparse. Increase edge density, stitch every hole in order on the edge. The denser the edge, the fuller the edge shape.
When the yarn is pulled out too long, pull the yarn at the end of the needle to shorten it, and retract the yarn until the needle tip just touches the fabric surface. Then continue stitching along the pattern's edge line. First, stitch along the pattern for the first round. When working the second round, insert the needle in the middle of each stitch of the first round. Stitch one round after another until the area is filled. After completing the last stitch, hold the yarn with your left hand and pull out the needle. Then cut the yarn with scissors. Without changing the yarn, continue making the area of the same color using the same method. First, find a starting point to insert the needle in the inner ear area. Stitch along the pattern's edge line for one round. Make sure to leave enough yarn. Loosely set it aside for easier crafting. Finish the first round, then continue stitching round by round until the entire area is filled. After completing the last stitch, pull out the needle and then cut the yarn. Then finish making the other ear. Turn the embroidery hoop to the front. Use scissors to cut all the loops open. After cutting all the loops open, continue trimming the surface to make it smooth. Trim the edge shape. Trimming is completed. Flip to the back, then proceed to make the next area in the same way. Thread the needle first. Please refer to the beginning of the video for details. Threading is completed. Next, pick up the embroidery hoop and start crafting. Find a starting point at the edge of the blush area to insert the needle. Fill the entire area. Cut the yarn. Without changing the yarn, continue making the blush on other side. Cut the yarn. The blushes are completed. No need to change the yarn for now. Directly start making the area of the same color on the top of the head. After finishing, flip to the front and cut open all the loops in the blushes. Note, please do not cut the loops in this area. Flip the embroidery hoop and continue making the next area. After threading, continue making the next area. No need to change the yarn, continue making the upper area. Flip to the front side and cut open all the blue loops. Continue making the next area. Finish and cut the yarn. Cut open the white loops in the upper part. Use pointed scissors to create clear boundaries for each area.
The color block boundaries are chaotic. There are the following solutions. First, trim the junction. After all the felting is done, the color block boundaries are chaotic. Use tools to separate the yarn areas of each color block. Use scissors to cut the boundary slightly concave. After all the trimming, the picture will look more beautiful. Second method, sectional trimming. Trim while doing. The boundary lines will be more quickly organized. After felting one area. First, trim the edges. Trim before felting the next area. The boundary lines will be clearer.
After roughly adjusting, proceed to create the next area. Finish and cut the yarn. Cut off the yarn ends, then flip to the front side and cut the loops open. Then trim the surface to make the length of the yarn more even. Next, trim the edges into shape. Continue trimming the edge outline to make the line smoother. Next, use pointed scissors to comb and clearly separate each area of different colors. After combing, loosen the screw and remove the embroidery fabric. Then, along the marks left by the embroidery hoop on the fabric, trim the embroidery fabric according to the shape of the pattern. Use scissors to cut open the corners of the fabric. Trimming is completed. Then take out the hot melt glue stick and apply glue on the back of the embroidery fabric. It will be more convenient if you have a hot melt glue gun, but you need to prepare it yourself.
Next, I will demonstrate the usage of the hot melt glue stick. Can be assisted with a glue gun. Be careful not to burn your hands. If you don't have a glue gun, you can use a lighter to melt it. Heat with the inner flame. Softening until transparent, then it is ready to use. Heating with the outer flame will cause the melted glue to turn black. This will not look good.
All pasted and completed. Then take out the felt and place it on top of the embroidery fabric. Apply glue to secure it. Take a long strip of felt, fold it in half to secure it, and then stick it to the top of the main body. Cut off the excess felt along the outline. Trimming is completed. Take out the eyes and nose accessories and place them in the appropriate positions on the face. After determining the positions, press down to leave marks. Use scissors to cut out indentations for the eye sockets and nose socket. Then apply hot melt glue to secure them in the trimmed positions. Facial features are completed. Take out a few pom-poms. Apply glue on the back of the accessories for fixing. Pasting completed. Take out the ribbon and make a bow. Take out the scissors and trim the ends of the bow at an angle. Apply glue to secure it. Production completed.